He knows I'm Philip Moo.
Yes, ma'am.
The infamous creators of a new genre here in Little Rock called trap jazz.
Yes.
Tell us about it. Who gonna jump in? Who gonna
Go
jump
ahead,
in?
Phil.
It's basically like a cultural bridge. The idea came to me one day. You know, I believe in being a student of the game. So one day, you know, I was looking up Miles Davis and just I was reading his autobiography. And you know, the movie that's out right now don't even do it justice, because you know, a lot of people don't know he was a fashion trendsetter and basically a cultural icon in the jazz world, because he went to Juilliard and all this other stuff.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. Right. So
Black people could go to Juilliard back in his day.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
We talking about 40s, 50s,
Exactly.
60s, somewhere in there. So I was noticing that, like, really, like, before he passed, we talking about in the 80s when he was still playing.
Right.
He had a couple of albums where he had like some rappers on there, and he was already fusing hip hop with jazz.
Right.
But unfortunately, you know, Miles Davis passed, right? And so, and it was just like that whole idea.
So you haven't heard it from anywhere else? You don't think?
Not really. I mean, you hear little elements of it, like Kendrick Lamar and Terrence Martin and them. You know, they're doing a lot. They kind of infusing a little jazz with the hip hop, but the difference between what they're doing and what we're doing is like we're really actually sticking to the elements of the trap. I mean, we got the 808 and all this other stuff, that all the nuances of the trap genre. We had that in there, but it's like you can easily mix the jazz in there, because for one,
everything comes from jazz.
Exactly.
That's what I heard.
Hip hop and jazz both are American art forms, started by African Americans, created by African Americans. Exactly, true. So you know, it's just milling and running all in through there. So it's like that's why they're so easy to mesh. I'm down with it.
Saxophone started when?
Ooh. Now the saxophone was like created like.
No, for you.
For me,
oh my gosh, you know.
Girl, I was finna take you.
No, when Philip Moo started playing.
I started playing the saxophone in the 7th grade at Northwood Junior High.
Shout out.
Wow. Okay. Shout out. Sharon Hawk was my first band director.
Okay.
And like my dad, he's a band director, so like he was like, "You're gonna play trumpet." And I'm like, "Dad, I want to play trumpet." And he even brought a trumpet home and was showing me, and I didn't like the whole buzzing thing. I just could not get the hang on it to keep it consistently. So they had this thing called open house, where they have like all the instruments out there, and you get to pick what instrument you want. And I was a natural at the saxophone, according to the band director. And if the rest is history, I started out on alto, but then what a lot of people don't know is they switched me to tenor saxophone because I hit like a growth spurt, because I was an athlete too. Right. So I hit a growth spurt, and they was like, "Oh, well, you're tall, so we need you to get the tenor sax because it's bigger and it fits your body size." So I was on tenor sax all the way up until college.
I played clarinet in 6th and 7th grade.
Come through for
I can still play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I really can. 1, 2, 3, usher can back up to A or anyway. Anywho, Q, let's talk about you, Q-Note. Tell me, you're a producer.
Right.
You do a lot of the behind the scenes things and deal with the sound. So give us your background.
I started off pretty much as a artist. I'm still an artist, which is why it's easy for me to reach out to people.
What genre of music did you do?
Hip hop.
So you rap too?
Right, yeah. So I have an album. I'm rapping on the album.
Okay.
Started a hip hop duo called Q-Note when we was about 19. Me and a friend of mine who were in college started a hip hop duo, and that's when I kind of started putting it all to use. Been making beats since I was like 14. So I've been around the hip hop scene around Little Rock.
Where you guys from?
A long time. I'm from Little Rock.
Okay.
Jacksonville, North Little Rock, all of that too.
Okay.
Same thing. So we all kind of grew up in the school system around here, and I went to Philli Smith for college. So from there, I just kind of did an album, moved to Atlanta, did an album, came back, promoted it, did some shows and stuff like that. So catch up to speed recently, Phil, I mean, I still got I can pull it up on Instagram right now. He hit me up one day in the inbox and was like, cuz I want to do this album. I want to do this mixtape. It's like a hip hop meets jazz type thing. And I was like, whatever you want, I got you. I can't remember the words exactly, but that's how this kind of all started. Me and Phil, we actually blood cousins, but we really, even though we cousins, we didn't grow up together. You know what I'm saying? We didn't grow up like hanging out and nothing like that.
Yeah, I walked in, I was like, are y'all brothers?
Yeah. We would see each other, you know,
at the family
reunion or at like rival basketball games and stuff, and be like, what up, cuz, you know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of meant to be, but I've been playing piano since I was 10.
So who are some of your inspirations then?
Yeah, for me personally, I kind of came up like as a hip hop head. I really didn't get I started off, of course, like Michael Jackson and stuff like that, but I really didn't realize at a young age, I didn't really have like real musical influences. So it was kind of like I had to learn from the streets, you know, which is, you know, the streets kind of tell you what's popular in our culture. So back then it was like I studied Dr. Dre and Pharrell and you know, just different DJ Quick, you know, stuff like that. I never even had a clue that I would ever be playing jazz. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be playing. I've only been playing jazz for a year.
So how do you guys feel about some of those names you've mentioned, which are obviously early 90s to where hip hop is today? Jazz pretty much stays. I hate to say it stays the same. Of course, it's like a flux. Is what people told me before. Yeah. But you know, jazz is gonna be jazz. Right. Versus hip hop has drastically changed. How do you guys feel about that?
As a producer in the culture, working with different artists and things like that, I think we've got to the point in hip hop where everybody's trying to figure out what to do next.
So you think this? I hate to throw out names. I like them, but you know, like the whole Young Thug.
Yeah. I mean, they're part of
Rich Homie Quan, that sound. You think we're kind of getting tired of it?
Well, no, I don't think we're getting tired of it because that's the language that our youth speaks. You know what I'm saying?
It's the trap.
But we don't.
Okay. It's what our youth identify.
But we also have to be conscious of why that music is so prevalent, which is that there's no black people that own no record labels. There's no black people that own anything in the music. It's all dominated by Caucasians, Jewish, right? So the music that we listen to, that we call popular culture,
I think it's strategic.
It's the music that they want us to hear.
Yeah, it's strategically put
out there.
Well,
how do you feel about, because I've been taught, I used to work for a marketing company, and it made perfect sense when my former boss was like, black people create popular culture, but it doesn't become popular culture until white people say so.
Right.
Like the Young Jock going down.
Right.
When Ellen did the nay-nay, all of a sudden, like Hillary Clinton was on there nay-nay, and nay-nay was old at that point, but now it's trending, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, you guys think that, okay, so I guess it goes with what you're saying, like since they said that music is okay, we can't.
So like if we would have grew up listening to jazz on the radio. You know what I'm saying? We would all be listening to jazz. We would be like, oh, that's In a Sentimental Mood, the song you just mentioned from Love Jones. You would know it. You would hear the melody and be like, oh, that's In a Sentimental Mood.
Right.
Or Coltrane had a song, These Are My Favorite Things. We was watching a documentary the other day, and they said that Coltrane was the only jazz artist that had a hit on mainstream radio during this time.
Meaning they played it on
the radio.
They played his jazz song on mainstream radio.
So it can be done.
So it can be done.
Ken Maxwell kind of dabbled into that. His stuff is playing mainstream.
Going back to what you said about Young Thug, like I don't have anything against his music. The only thing I would say could be a possible knock on his music is because, you know, I believe it's the blues. But anyway,
we got to have
his message, you know, he just has to. I think he needs to be more aware of his message that he's putting out.
Of course.
Because it's a lot of young youth that listen to him, and some of the messages in some of his songs here lately haven't been too good for our culture. That's the only knock I have on saying his music. But because I think, you know, trap jazz, like I said, it's a cultural bridge. It's like I got a few tracks on there where I'm addressing that exact situation in the music business right now.
So is it all music on the mixtape? What's the name of the mixtape?
So the mixtape is called I Am Trap Jazz.
Okay.
It's a compilation of stuff that we think would fall into the genre. So it's a lot of hip hop on there, which means it's a lot of rapping, vocals on there.
Right.
It's a lot of sax on there because that's the main instrument on there. And then we have a R&B artist from Little Rock named Trisha Reed. She has a song on there by herself, no sax, and I produced it. But I feel like there are vocals, there are Ella Fitzgerald, there are vocalists in the jazz culture as well. So some of these vocalists would fall into trap jazz, you know, not just R&B.
Do y'all ever go to, music cities like Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta? You guys play there?
We have, You know, so like now we've been in the studio working on this for about a year. So now it's time for us to kind of bridge out and like let the world
really
start back.
Do y'all have anything already locked in yet? Or?
Not yet. We literally have just been.
It was released today.
Yeah,
right?
we literally have just been focused on this. We play downtown and stuff all the time for the people of Little Rock, and they love it. So we're pretty positive that we can go anywhere with a horn.
Las Vegas,
and just do it, you know. But and people ask us all the time while we're outside, do y'all have a CD? Do y'all have a somewhere we can go get the music? Like all the time.
All the time.
This is right here in Little Rock. I'm talking about black, white, Asian, no matter who it is. They ask, they want to hear more. So I'm excited that we're giving them something different than what's normal.
Yeah, I love it. What is your social media information for everybody to follow you guys?
On Instagram, my name is I Am Philli Moo.
Spell Moo, M-O-U.
M-O-O.
M-O-O. Oh, you went on into it? Okay.
Like the cow moo. I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. And on Twitter is It's Philli Moo. Okay. And on Facebook is my actual name, Phillip with 2 L's, Mouton, M-O-U-T-O-N. It's like crouton without seeing on.
Talk to me. Q-Note, what's yours?
I'm on Instagram. I'm at Grammy Q-Note. Grammy like the award. Grammy Q-Note, and that's the same thing for Twitter. And then on Facebook, Q-Note. Facebook / Q-Note. And SoundCloud.
Yeah, we on SoundCloud.
Phillip Mouton.
Okay. So are you guys gonna make a central location where we can get this trap jazz?
Yeah. So the trap jazz is on the mixtape. You can go get it right now on IamTrapJazz.com.
Okay.
Everything is I Am Trap Jazz. So you just type in I Am Trap Jazz and it'll take you directly to a download link. We got physical copies. You can pre-order your physical copy. Those are coming in. Everything is like, we're literally comparing this to being in the trap. So you see my studio, this is like the trap house. You know what I mean? No, nothing glamorous, one microphone, but it sounds like $1 million.
Oh, we done it. I like it.
Pushing product right out the trunk,
right out the trunk
on the website.
And he wants y'all to get high off his product.
It's crack.
It's crack.
Can we hear something else off the album on our way out?
Yeah,
make sure you follow these guys and go to IamTrapJazz.com.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can get the what is the I Am Trap Jazz? That's it. Everything is I Am Trap Jazz. Via Banks, Via Music Mondays, Q-Note, and Philli Moo.
Yeah, keys, open doors, but this Grammy ain't for sale. Your album telling tales and my album telling tales. Yeah, the only difference is the check. The check signed Trill when they see the address. Q-Note, Lil Rock, man, you see the finesse. Just like Joe or just like Jazz.